Your greatest enemy no longer lives on some foreign land thousands of miles away from you. Your greatest enemy now lives in your pocket. It sleeps by your side. It greets you once you wake up. It numbs you and allows you to escape reality when you feel low. I'm talking about your cell phone. High-speed internet, a mobile device small enough to slide into your pocket, and the absurd amount of apps catering to your primal desires have absolutely wrecked your mind. You want to have a meal? Well, you no longer have to hunt for it. You can now order highly processed garbage from Uber Eats. You want to be entertained? Well, you no longer need to have a social circle. You can now doom scroll TikTok and Instagram. You want to experience sex and intimacy? Well, you no longer need to build yourself into a competent man that is capable of attracting a wife. You now have access to unlimited number of women doing whatever you want, whenever you want, in the form of pornography. The lack of effort required to obtain absurd amount of fleeting pleasure is the reason why most people are hooked to these things. You see, chances are that you have indulged in these pleasures, and as a result you have flooded your brain with excessive dopamine. Your body likes to keep things in balance. Homeostasis is the body's ultimate balancing act, keeping all its systems in check to make sure everything runs smoothly and keeps us ticking along just fine. Like when you run, your core body temperature increases, so your body starts sweating in order to bring it down. This is an example of homeostasis. Just like that, in order to account for this excessive amount of dopamine, your body begins to eliminate its own dopamine receptors. You literally lose your ability to be happy. This is why you need dopamine detox. You need to allow your brain to recalibrate itself and understand that it is no longer being flooded with excessive dopamine. This way it regenerates those once destroyed dopamine receptors. Paradoxically, doing a dopamine detox the right way will make you much more happy and motivated and content with life. So about 3 months ago, I decided I'm no longer going to bombard my brain with any form of excessive stimulation. I'm going to quit fast food. I'm going to get off all social media to avoid doom scrolling. I'm going to stop consuming processed sugar. I'm not going to play video games. I'm not going to stay up late. I'm not going to binge watch Netflix or do any other form of degenerate activity. Now look, I didn't just quit doing things and just sit facing a wall. I see videos about dopamine detox and how these individuals sat alone, getting bored in a room for 24 hours, or how they did not do anything for a week. I'm going to tell you that this is garbage. It does not work. In fact, this is like the surest way of falling back into the bad habits you want to escape from. There's a lot of truth to the saying, an idle mind is the devil's playground. The truth is that you need to do things to actually function and enjoy life. Doing things is essential to a dopamine detox. Sitting there hibernating like a bear is destructive. During my dopamine detox, I made sure that my day was filled with activities and that I received my dose of dopamine from healthy sources. I fasted regularly, anywhere between 16 hours to fasts as long as 48 hours. Fasting is shown to increase your baseline dopamine levels and also has shown to upregulate dopamine receptors. When you're in a fasted state, you are able to think much more clearly. Your body is not spending all its energy trying to digest a large meal. Each morning I performed cold showers about 3 minutes long. This was like my morning shot of coffee. After performing a cold shower, I felt incredibly good and motivated for like hours. Look, I know that getting a cold shower first thing in the morning sucks, but what it does is that it changes your perspective. The things that you wish to do next appear much more easier because you have started your day with something difficult and you have accomplished it. You have started your day with a win. You have sent a clear message to your body. Right, buddy, we are here to work. Your brain was designed to learn new things each and every day. I made sure that I was doing deep focus work anywhere between 1 to 3 hours a day. Learning new things and seeing yourself make progress in some domain is very, very rewarding. If you're just starting to do a dopamine detox, you are very likely going to have a shitty attention span. But as days pass and you avoid doom scrolling short form content, you are going to realize that your attention span increases significantly. I started taking my workouts extremely seriously. I was now training Muay Thai, lifting weights or going for runs. I was training 6 days a week. I cannot stress enough how much of an impact working out has on your mental health. Like each time you work out, you're sweating, your heart is beating faster, and your body releases a cocktail of neurotransmitters and hormones which make you feel really happy and motivated. Remember, the purpose of dopamine detox isn't just to avoid the unhealthy dopamine and sit in an empty room. The purpose is to replace the unhealthy with the healthy. You will need to fill that void somehow. Lastly, I became incredibly punctual with my prayers. I decided I'm going to visit my local mosque as often as I could. Prayers bring a sense of tranquility. Your mind is disconnected from the chaos and stresses of the world, and those moments really relax your psyche. The belief that all stresses in your life are nothing but a test by your creator makes you rather stoic. Now, it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows. At first it was kind of hard to make all these changes, but the longer I did the positive things and avoided the negative things, the easier my routine felt. And after 2 months or so, it just became part of my identity. The trick is to start off easy and gradually increase the difficulty. For example, if you have never taken a cold shower before, then don't just go in there for 5 minutes. Start with something like 1 minute. If you've never fasted before, don't fast for 48 hours or something. Start with something like 12 hours. Make these new habits easier to perform at the beginning. You can increase the intensity as you become more comfortable with them. Where most people fail is that they make these behaviors extremely difficult at the start, and then these tasks begin to look like mountains. Remember, this is a marathon and not a sprint. 1 day at a time. During the first 2 months of the detox, I noticed that there were days where I randomly felt super depressed or unmotivated. I almost felt like a zombie, completely emotionless. Do not worry if this happens to you. These are withdrawal symptoms and they indicate that your brain is rewiring itself. Here's the pro tip though. If you significantly want to accelerate the process of rewiring your brain, then do 16 to 20 hour fasts. I realized that the intensity of withdrawal symptoms were far lesser when I was fasting. It's almost like fasting allows your body to begin the process of healing itself and return back to its factory settings. Now, after having done a 3-month dopamine detox, my mental health is absolutely amazing. Here are some of the changes that I noticed about myself. Firstly, my mood is significantly better. I just feel happy for no particular reason. Simple things such as going for a walk outside, talking to friends, or studying began to feel a lot more fun. It's like my baseline levels of dopamine has increased. Secondly, prior to the dopamine detox, I used to kind of wake up semi-lethargic and unmotivated because my brain was all messed up due to the garbage food that I was eating and the short form content that I was watching. However, after 3 months of eating clean food and avoiding short form content, my motivation and energy levels are through the roof. I wake up excited to do things. I also require lesser sleep and wake up even before my alarm. Like prior to the dopamine detox, I used to require something like 9 hours of sleep. But these days I wake up fresh after sleeping just for 7.5 hours. Lastly, my stress tolerance has improved significantly. Prior to this, I had crippling anxiety. I remember feeling like I had a knife sliding through my windpipe each night. I was worried about my job, about exams at university, about my visa application, but taking cold showers and working out regularly for 3 months has completely changed that. I'm as stoic as I've ever been. There's this aura of confidence that has now been instilled in me. I now feel like if worst comes to worst, even if an asteroid hits my city, I will still be fine. There's this innate self-belief that has been developed within me. But here is something crucial for your dopamine detox journey. While you're undergoing a dopamine detox, you also need to build a foundational layer of discipline. You can't just keep using raw motivation to do hard things. So make sure that you watch this video in order to learn how to have monk-like discipline without having to make an earth-shattering effort.